No, your boy has not succumbed to a virus or anything like that. I just needed to take a break. Simply put, got tired. A whole lot was going on in the personal life, and I didn't want to make another one of those we gotta talk videos. All right, I just wanted to take this in, handle it on my own, because that's really what it was about. I got a post coming, gonna hit the community tab a little bit later today, explaining the situation. Me personally, I feel like I owe you guys an apology. All right. And whether or not it matters to me, because this is my first time building anything this big. All right. Just being completely 100 right now. This is my first time building anything this big. My first time creating something that has reached so many people. Right. So in that the first time, all of this stuff is crazy. It's all brand new. You're just like, oh my, what do I do? And if it had begun to feel like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And on top of that, to make a long story short, my family received a large sum of money. And you think that when that opportunity comes around, everything's going to get better. It did not. It actually made the situation way worse. And it had me feeling like I was living a fake life. I'm up here making these videos trying to advise you guys on personal wealth matters when my own financial situation was completely ruined. So that mentally really had an impact on me. All right. And I just didn't want to, give that energy in the content. I did not want to do that, because with a lot of reflection over the last couple of months, I've come to understand that it's not about the money. No. The biggest thing they teach you when you get into entrepreneurship, self-help, self-development, things like that, is if you chase something for money, you'll never get it. And then when you do get the money, you're either dead tired, can't do nothing with it, or you've cut off everybody else around you. No friends, no family. You've lost everything, but you've gained all this money, right? I believe there's a Bible verse about that. Can't quote it right now. Pretty sure someone will down in the comments. But my first experience as an entrepreneur, as a leader, building a community, on top of having to handle that with, my family. Okay. And we all got our family members. We all know that once you reach a certain age, you realize, these are relatives, right? And that word means a lot. Really does. Not going to get too deep into it, guys. I don't really want to take too much time, because there's some more positive news, information. In my absence, I have been able to filter out a lot of noise. Filter out a lot of noise, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you just like this. And I just posted this in the community tab as well. So it's only 5 assets that we need to be concerned about going forward: Solana, Hedera, Stellar, VeChain, and the XDC network. If you've been watching this channel through the years, you know that's pretty much where we've kept our focus, right? Sustainability, enterprise, blockchain applications, DLT infrastructure, trade finance, cross-border payments, and remittances. And I'll tell you guys, and I will touch on the fact that the day after I stopped uploading, Bitcoin wanted to surge to 60, 70,000. We're not going to address that. But point is, guys, after all of the research that I have done, all of the files that I have gone through, the white papers, the PDFs, the news articles, the videos, the podcasts, the interviews, the Twitter feeds, everything, those who are solving the biggest problem have the highest potential for the biggest evaluation. And the way that the world is moving right now, it's moving in these 5 directions. All right. Little story for you. So in this absence, I did experiment with some other content. I broke off into the animation space, talking about your DreamWorks, Disney, Pixar, Illumination, stuff like that, right? Stumbled upon a company named Micros Animation. Very interesting story, Micros. They started in 1985. They're one of the leading visual effects and animation studios in France. And actually, when I did the digging, because you guys know I love to do the digging, they were actually very important towards the adoption of visual effects technologies and animated technologies. Kind of felt like I was still doing the same thing, especially when I went to do a video and a company popped up called Polygon Pictures. That was hilarious. But point is, guys, what I saw in that project was how the rest of the world really is getting ready for these digital technologies. Micros they just got bought out by the largest media company in history. I'm talking about Technicolor. All right. Now, Technicolor, if you don't know, they brought color to TV and film. Period. They have 110 plus year history that spans across all forms of media. You want to know where they're heading to now? Web3. Now, it was at this point where I was like, every time I try to leave, they keep pulling me back in. But I just found that to be, I guess you could call it a full circle moment. It was the man upstairs with another whisper telling me, all right, I got something for you. Okay, I understood. I may have dumped it all on you at once too fast. I get that. So I'm going to give you a new perspective, right? Their focus is Web3. They're looking to enhance the speed and capability rendering for animated films, things like that. And they have been experimenting for years. And I just found it to be fascinating, guys, because of course, the first thing I thought about was render, right? Now, I talked about that top 5. Can't go wrong if you start there. There are other projects in the space that have their own list of, attributes that make them the leaders in their particular fields. Render is definitely one of those. But as far as the content that we're going to talk about here going forward, I have to break it down to these 5 assets because I've also learned in my absence how YouTube really works. You know that little issue of, when I post a video and you guys, not all of you get the notification right away? There's a reason. And I figured it out. I also figured out the whole ad revenue, CPM, RPM per channel based on content, so forth and so on. I figured out that whole thing too. That also applies to why we're focusing on these 5 assets, is because it allows us to bolster our community. We're going to make it even stronger now because we're going to be able to concentrate our energy on just these 5 things, on just these 5 assets, on these 5 markets, these 5 industries. And within these 5 industries, well, you tell me. All right. We've already seen Adara working on drone technology. So is Walmart and other big box retailers. We've already seen how Stellar and the UN provide funding and other things through blockchain technology, the payments, as well as food distribution. It really gets deep, ladies and gentlemen, because with Stellar, yes, they can handle remittances, they can handle payments, but they can also do tokenization and asset management. Any form of asset management. So, trade finance, still $1 trillion market that has yet to really be cracked into. Yet, the developments from the technical side around the world now are starting to speed up. Remember, prior to this, we were waiting on the Electronic Documents Bill to take place. Electronic Documents Act, whatever. Don't quote me on that. It's now in effect, guys. And it's been months since it's been in place, and now other countries are following suit. I don't see any other direction to look when it comes to that. Now, sustainability, enterprise applications. Look, I haven't stopped reading the headlines. Gaming is still going strong. Solana is dropping token after token. I believe it was like a meme coin allocation, in meme coin fund that they launched not too long ago. But they're also building up their Solana Pay infrastructure, the mobile app, so forth and so on, right? Again, I've been reading the headlines, skimming through, okay? Didn't want to get too deep, stress management, all that good stuff. But pulling myself away, zooming out, it allowed me to look at the whole perspective, right? It allowed me to look at the whole picture and the picture that I had already been painting with this channel. And that's where all the roads led to, was those 5 assets, those 5 markets, those 5 disciplines, if you will. So I feel confident in focusing in those areas. And I also feel confident in telling someone completely new to the space that if you want to start with these 5. Because not only, and we're removing the profit potential. All right. Again, like I started this video, it's not about the money. We're removing the profit potential because the money will come when you do the work. Okay. And that work as an investor is to follow the appropriate accounts, keep up with the updates, the proper social media. You guys know the routine. And on top of that, you'll also get a chance to learn how a functioning asset works, what it looks like. So that way, if you don't want to get involved with the 5 that we talk about over here, there's 100 other channels you can go follow that'll give you insight on assets of a similar nature. And if you want, you can dig through the archives on this channel. We've covered plenty of projects. But for the sake of YouTube, for the sake of sustainability, as far as building a community, keeping DHN around for a few more years, gotta bring the focus in. And I think you guys will enjoy this as well, because like I said, you go back through the years, the main assets that we talk about on this channel, Hedera, Stellar, XDC, VeChain, started with VeChain. All right. Solana has come in more recently, but when I discovered their origins, which, yeah, definitely time to do another video updated on that with the skills. I haven't even talked about the things I've been practicing, but this is getting out of hand. But, yes, point is, guys, the break was much needed. Got a lot of clarity. Glad to be back. Never had any intentions of leaving. I am excited about this next stage, this next era, this next leg in the journey. Short term, I'm going to show you this right here. 57 more. Now, what does that mean? Well, if you look at my channel page, you'll see that we have 943 videos on this channel. That's almost a video every day for 3 years straight. Not bragging. But my goal is to get to 1,000. We're 57 away. I don't care what else happens, what those videos perform like, what the comments are under those videos. I just want to get to 1,000. I get to 1,000. We'll go from there. We'll have another discussion. But in the meantime, guys, if you've unsubscribed, resubscribe. Come on back. Got some things in the pipeline. Of course, this week we're going to dig into what's been going on, guys. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. Again, my apologies for going ghost. It's something that I have been dealing with for quite some time. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing how, ineffective that is to building proper relationships. and so that's why I'm so grateful for y'all, man. Okay. Look, I am an only child. All of my siblings, well, my father's other children were 10 years older than me, 20 years older than me, already had their kids, careers, so forth and so on. I'm doing all of this pretty much solo dolo. Not just from the aspect as a content creator, but as a father, husband, all of those things. So, thank you. That's all that needs to be said. Oh, and this. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.